Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special edition of the Feedspot Fire American Soccer Show. This is the first episode for the 2025 season of the National Premier Soccer League show. Welcome back, NPSL fans, as this show once again talks about your clubs in your league in the National Premier Soccer League. And I'm very excited to be back partnering with them, to be a media partner with the NPSL. Once again, I would like to thank Communications Director Gary Moody for making sure that I stay connected with the league to give those clubs in the Tier 1 in the amateur levels of American soccer, as they are the top league below U.S. Adult Soccer Association and the other leagues below them as well under their umbrella in the amateur section of American soccer in the U.S. Soccer Federation. And once again, I'm just very proud and very happy to come here to give those fans what's going on with their clubs in their league. And I'm really, really hoping they really come up, enjoying this once again. And hope now all of you can see me. As you can see, if you've seen some of my earlier shows here on StreamYard through YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn, of course, you can see there's a change here in the top right corner of the screen. Normally, it's just my Feedspot Fire American Soccer Show logo. But as you can see, this is the partnership with the National Premier Soccer League, as I have joined with them, their logo, my logo for this show, and there you have it right there. So without a doubt, while this is still a Feedspot Fire production, this is officially the Feedspot Fire American Soccer Show with the National Premier Soccer League. And once again, to Gary Moody, thank you very much, Gary, for still partnering with me so I can give all the NPSL fans, whether it be league-wide or the fans of their clubs, to come on and to listen to this show as it is being discussed right now. And once again, this will be the new expansion teams coming into the National Premier Soccer League, a good whopping 14 new clubs entering the NPSL, and very soon their season will be underway. It is very exciting. It is a lot of fun. And of course, we cannot forget the old clubs that have been around for a good while, like what El Farolito has done. And let me just go to El Farolito for just a moment. El Farolito, the last surviving amateur club that survived in the Open Cup, went the furthest into the third round of the Open Cup, lost 1-0 at Sacramento Republic of USL Championship. But boy, Santiago Lopez, what he does with that club and how he gets them prepared, not just for a league match, but for those Open Cup matches, is just unbelievable. And they earned the $50,000 reward for the amateur club that lasted the longest in the Open Cup. And that was the third round against Sacramento Republic at Heart Health Park, excuse me. But once again, we're going to have some great clubs here coming on tonight to discuss with us what's happening, why they came into the NPSL, why they felt this league was for them the best league to be starting their soccer existence, whether it be in an amateur or a professional, a semi-professional league, still under the umbrella of U.S. Soccer. But, we're going to learn about their communities. We're going to learn about where they play, the level of talent that is in their town, that is in their region, that's in their state. And it's just wonderful to see. And you'll see some brand new things here on the Feedspot Fire American Soccer Show. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And I cannot wait to start this show off on the right foot. And if you've seen this show already, I've already worked on some graphics. Yes, I know. I'm getting kind of giddy. I get really excited when I'm creating these new things. Moving on from my live audio streaming show. Of course, once again, as all of you may know, Blog Talk Radio has ceased operations. So I had to make this move now into the video streaming department, and which I'm very grateful for. And I was making this move into video streaming, but obviously my timetable had to be pushed up, I should say, by a lot. So, but once again, you know, this league has really touched me. And I'll tell you why it's touched me. It's touched me because while, yes, I do cover the big boy leagues, obviously, Major League Soccer, all the professional leagues of the USL, and of course, NISA, and of course, what's going on with some of these clubs in MLS Next Pro. It is these lower level teams, these amateur teams, short season teams, where you love to talk about their passion for the game. You talk about, how much they care about the game. And while one day, hopefully, all of us will have that ability to have promotion relegation. Until then, it's at the moment an idea through the USL leagues. Still, though, my hope is from the top all the way to the bottom, we all have promotion relegation and we can all share it up and down the ladder. I'm not going to call it a pyramid just yet. We're not there yet, but still, though, it's a ladder right now that it feels good to be talking to these clubs and getting their perspective, why they want to be in this league, and enjoying your time to hear about what's going to happen here in the National Premier Soccer League, who their opponents will be, which conference they'll be performing in. Obviously, the regions are gone, but still, though, the conferences are there. And it's going to be exciting to talk to some of these clubs to find out what they're going to be doing, how they're going to play, and what we're going to expect from them, obviously, and how they're going to be performing in this league and in their conferences. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to get this whole thing started. And once again, this partnership with the National Premier Soccer League, it has been exciting and a lot of fun. It really is. And so as we get ready to move on into this brand new chapter of the National Premier Soccer League show, once again here with the Feuerstein's Fire American Soccer Show, this is going to be exciting and it's going to be a lot of fun once again. I'm very happy to once again be joining up with Gary Redman and everyone new and old in the National Premier Soccer League. So let's go ahead and let's get this party started right off the bat. My first guests tonight, they come from Indianapolis, Indiana. They run FC Pride Elite. Joining me right now will be Executive Director of Coaching and Co-Head Coach Jamie Gilbert, and Boys Director, also Co-Head Coach in Mr. Keegan Boom. Gentlemen, welcome to the show and welcome. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it and welcome.
Daniel, how you doing?
Very good, very good. Jamie, just wanted to ask you, when this club wanted to be part of the National Premier Soccer League, what made you want to make this move to this league?
I think for us, it was obviously balancing a pyramid at the time, doing exactly what we do for the women with the men. We'd looked at a number of leagues, and honestly, the NPSL just fit our values about what we wanted to do with the men's team, how we wanted to go about our business in the summer. Obviously, our roster's made up of a lot of college players that are playing for the summer, and it worked perfectly with what we wanted to do and how we wanted to progress. So it was kind of a no-brainer for us.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. And, Keegan, if I can ask you this, obviously you're the running with the boys side of the program over there. What have you seen from the Indianapolis, Indiana area that makes you excited that this sport has tons of talent from the state and that you can build something and create more footballers over there for not just for your club, but maybe other clubs within the state and within the country?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The NPSL and FC Pride joining provides a fantastic platform for our academy players and then the top local and regional talent to step into an environment where they get to showcase what they've put together. They get to showcase the talent of Indianapolis, and really display what we've got here in the community. We've got not too many clubs in the area that play at the level that we've been able to join here recently. So it's a very exciting time for players around Indianapolis to show what they're able to do.
Now, I have to ask you gentlemen this question because, you know, co-head coaches, and if I can ask this, you know, how will this work? Well, you're going to be managing a match for 90 minutes because I mean, I can understand maybe associate head coach with the head coach, but co-head coaches, who takes the lead, and you know, who's going to offer advice? How will this work?
Well, I think we work together so closely every day during the development of the youth program that, to be honest, is so natural between our staff. Um, I think the more eyes, the better in what we're looking to do. I think we both bring different strengths. I bring the grey hair, and he brings the young good looks. So we think we'll be all right.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. And look, if you two can coexist while the 90 minutes are going on, I mean, you know, more power to you. And it's just great to hear. Let's go ahead and um, take a look here, of course, as I get up. There it is. Look at this, gentlemen. Look at this. Brand new graphics, brand new everything. So I hope I did you guys proud here. Talking about the Lawrence Soccer Complex. How long has that been around, and what are the special amenities about having a wonderful facility in Lawrence Soccer Complex?
So we built the turf stadium ourselves, which it was a big project for us. It's about 5 years old now, but we bought a building, an indoor training center with land attached, and the idea was to develop that land into a stadium, and that's what we ended up doing. So it's now the home of all of our higher level youth programming and the training throughout the winter months as well. So um, the kids that play here love it, and I'm sure that the adult teams as well will find it a really, really good home for what we're doing. It's a unique situation for us. We feel that it offers a better feel than a college stadium or a high school stadium because it's ours. We own it. So trying to give that whole, for want of a better phrase, European feel to what we're doing. Where someone comes in, obviously you've got the indoor training center attached to the outdoor stadium. So yeah, it's a unique setting, and I think the teams that come in will enjoy it.
Now, if I can ask you this, Keegan, when you see other academies out there, whether it be inside Indianapolis or throughout the state, is there a sense of jealousy that you've been able to create your own facility while maybe other academies have rented out fields in different parts of the state?
Yeah, it's certainly a luxury that we have at the club. The facilities aid the development that we provide to the players. It's a reason why so many local players look to come to the Lawrence area to play for FC Pride, not only because of the quality of coaching that we have in the academy, but also because of the resources that we provide, the indoor facility that Jamie just mentioned, the stadium attached to it, and everything that comes with that. So we are very fortunate to have the resources that we have, and it certainly brings the top talent in Indianapolis our way.
hmm Now, if I can ask you this, guys, and either one could answer this. Obviously, you feel like you have a great roster to start off this year over in the Central States Conference. Who should we be looking out for on this roster? Any player, could be the goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, sweeper, striker. Who do you feel are your best players that you've seen so far in training and throughout the Indianapolis area?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've got a handful of stars from the Indianapolis and the regional area. One player that will be a very exciting watch will be Palmer Alt, who previously was with the Flint City Bucks and has signed for us for this summer. So Palmer's a fantastic player, fantastic forward, and we really look forward to him doing great things for us this summer.
No, that's absolutely fantastic. Let's talk about these opponents. You'll be facing some of these solid opponents and clubs: Milwaukee Torrent, Geo's Lions, SC of Chicago, Michigan Rangers, Southern Indiana Guardians FC, Wisconsin Conquerors. Let's talk about Southern Indiana first. You were looking for a derby, weren't you, when you found out they're going to be in your conference? Weren't they, Jamie?
Well, it's a few hours away, so it's not quite a local derby, but we'll call it an Indiana derby for sure. But yeah, it's good to have them in the conference. As the conference kind of realigned, that made a lot of sense, and it'll be a good game for sure.
Mm-hmm. No, it really will be. And then, of course, not far away is Wisconsin. Obviously, you'll be facing two other teams in there: Milwaukee Torrent. They're Keegan. They're one of the elder statesman clubs of this league, and Wisconsin Conquerors, just been around for maybe a couple of years or so. How you're feeling about making those trips over there into Wisconsin to face those two clubs?
Yeah, it'll be very exciting. We make that trip to Wisconsin plenty of times a year with the academy group, so it'll be a familiar territory. But the difference will be with the men. So it'll be a very exciting journey. It will be a journey that we're familiar with, and we look forward to this summer.
No, absolutely, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, what are you looking for in your inaugural season in the NPSL? Obviously, you want to do well, and obviously, you want to be contending for a playoff spot. But outside of that, what else are you looking forward to start off this NPSL campaign?
Well, I think we've got a responsibility to develop the players throughout the summer and make sure that when they go back into their college world, they're in a better shape than when they left in kind of April or May. So we do have a responsibility to the players and also to our club as well. We're going to be as competitive as we can be day by day and game by game. But obviously the first kind of aim is to get into the top four and playing a playoff game at the end of the season, and then obviously take it from there. I mean, we're looking to go as far as we can. And on that note, I just want to say, touching on your point earlier in the show, massive congrats to El Farolito for what they've done this season. Phenomenal achievement. So,
no, absolutely, just tremendous what they've done. And of course, Keegan, that Open Cup spot. If you do make the playoffs and you do go deep into the playoffs, I believe it's if you reach the quarterfinals, you will go to the Open Cup in the first round. How important is that? And when you see it, watch it this year, the past years, do you dream and hope FC Pride Elite does make an Open Cup appearance?
Yeah, I think that's always the goal. I think that is a little bit farther in the future, maybe the back end. But I think all the groundwork that we're putting in right now is working and building towards providing that opportunity to the Lawrence area, providing that opportunity to the players that have come from our club and from our area, is ultimately to display them on the national stage like the U.S. Open Cup.
No, absolutely. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully there will be early success for FC Elite Pride FC Pride Elite. I keep screwing that up. I'm sorry about that. I know, $10 in the cookie jar. It's my fault. But anyway, FC Pride, it just sounds like you guys got everything ready to go, ready to move forward, and it's going to be exciting. And I can't wait to see what will happen with you guys. Now, what type of style do you like to put out there? Now, I'm not asking you to give me the entire game plan, but, will you be defending? Will it be attacking, pressing? What type of style would you like your players to perform on the pitch against your opponents?
Yeah, first and foremost, we want to have the ball. We want to have the ball with a bit of purpose. Can we play in the attacking half? Can we win the territory game? Can we be on the front foot? So can we play into high lines safely, controlling the ball? And then, of course, we want to score lots of goals. We want to showcase what our players are capable, and we believe our roster is going to allow us to dominate those areas of the game often in the season with the ball in the attacking half, creating lots of goal-scoring opportunities. And then, of course, off the ball, can we be aggressive? Can we be desperate to go and win the ball back as high up on the field to then allow us to go back the other way?
No, it's very exciting to hear that, and hopefully there'll be more coming your way. And once again, just hoping for a positive season and a lot of success, and it should be a lot of fun. Is there anything else, gentlemen, that we should be expecting from FC Pride Elite? Anything else that we should be expecting from them?
Well, let's just hope we have a good run, and we'll be back on the show later in the season, hopefully in the playoffs.
Hopefully, we'll see what happens, and can't wait to have you guys on once again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jamie Gilbert and Keegan Boom from FC Pride Elite. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed yourselves tonight, and hope to talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Daniel. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Daniel.
All right, take care. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, that was from FC Pride Elite. As they are getting ready for their first ever NPSL season, and it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun, and cannot wait to have them on and talk to them again during the year. So we'll have to wait and see what they will do moving forward here. And once again, it's going to be a tough conference. They're all tough conferences, to be honest with you. They're all difficult. They're all tough in the NPSL. They're all competitive. They're all hungry. They want to do something with the ball, and they really want to just be strong on the ball. Let's go ahead to my next guest, and we will quickly go to this gentleman, and he's over in Western New York. He is the head coach of the Buffalo Stallions, Mark Spacone, joining me right now. Mark, good evening, and how are you, sir?
Good evening. I'm well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, thank you for being on. I appreciate it. You know, Mark, Western New York, of course, I'm originally from New York City, from the Bronx, so I'm familiar with Western New York, the Buffalo area, and of course the top towns over there, Rochester, Syracuse. Just talk about how much Buffalo has grown as a soccer town in Western New York.
It's been a long time coming. It's been a work in progress, really, for the last 20 years. Every time we get our legs under us in terms of a club, a new venture comes around where we can expand our footprint and help player development in the entire part of Western New York and not just Buffalo. So again, about 20 years ago, when our club was by itself and growing, we had the opportunity to merge with Rochester and Syracuse at the advent of the USSDA, and we formed Empire United. That had a huge impact on player development, positive work that we did in the Western New York area with all those players. And since then, everybody has kind of gone their own separate way. And because of all that work that we did together through the USSDA, we now, as the Buffalo Stallions, can continue our work locally here in Buffalo and continue the player development model that we created with those other cities and push the sport further in Western New York.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. And just to talk about what's going on over there, and, you know, now there's going to be a new Buffalo USL club in the Championship League. Does that make you smile and make you proud that there's more coming for soccer in Buffalo?
I think we're all of the same mindset. There's never enough soccer, right? There's never too much soccer. There's never enough. So anything that helps the sport become healthier and grow is only a positive thing. So there could be, doesn't matter if there's a USL, NPSL, USL Championship, USL2, NPSL, MASL, whatever the indoor league is, the more the better. they can only help the sport grow and help players get engaged to play the game.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and take a look here. You're going to be playing at if I mispronounce it, you can let me know. Tonawanda High School in Tonawanda, New York. How far away is that from downtown Buffalo?
So it's about 15, 20 minutes away, but we don't play at Tonawanda High School. That's North Tonawanda's arch rival. So we actually play at North Tonawanda High School. We don't want to start any friction between Tonawanda and North Tonawanda.
No.
So yeah.
Nope.
So for this year,
I will.
For this year, we're playing at North Tonawanda.
No, I don't want to start a rivalry, but go ahead. Yeah.
No worries. And we have our own facility, which we're looking to redevelop and improve so that we can meet the standards of the NPSL. Our plan really was to join the NPSL in 2026, but the league asked us to join in 2025, so we took the leap. But 2026 was our goal, and our facility would have been ready to be soccer only, soccer specific, and we're about a year away from that to make that happen. So we'll be at NT this year. Like I said, just so we have facilities that meet the requirements, and then we're looking to move to our home base for the following year.
No, absolutely. Your opponents in the Great Lakes Conference, you're going to be taking on Ambassadors FC of Ohio, Cleveland SC, Erie Commodores, Flower City Union over in Rochester, Niagara 1812, Rochester, New York FC Academy, and Syracuse FC. Just let us know, what is the rivalry status of the three cities in Western New York, even four, like Niagara Falls, Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester? What is the rivalry like, or if there is any?
Yeah, it's an interesting relationship. This will be the first time where we're all really rivals at this level, because we were combined for so long as one big club. Like I said, as part of the U.S. Soccer Development Academy and then MLS Next Academy. So we've always worked together to push players up the pyramid into the academy system. So this is really now on this stage, at the NPSL stage, where we're really competing against each other. We all know each other. I worked for RNYFC up until last year. So those are my friends. Those are my colleagues. And it's just going to be fun, healthy competition. I heard you ask the previous guests about what does the NPSL bring to the table, and what it does is it really closes the geography for our clubs. Too many times in Western New York, Buffalo, Rochester, we have to travel 6.5, 7, 8 hours to go play every away game. Every away game is a rental bus, 50 passengers, hotels, 6.5 minimum drive to 8 hour drive. What this does is it really helps us compartmentalize our conference in a geographical location to where we can build rivalries and healthy competition and just help grow the sport in our area without having to go 8 hours on a bus somewhere and spend, ungodly amounts of money on lodging and travel.
No, absolutely. And I'd like to know, I'm not going to ask for the playbook or anything, but what type of style you like to play out there with the Stallions now that you're starting in the NPSL? You like to press, you like to defend, counter. What's the style for Buffalo Stallions for this year?
We're just going to boot it up the field and park the bus.
No, that's a good one. Why not? Go for it. Absolutely. Look, this is going to be a real tough conference. Obviously, like I've said, all the conferences are difficult in this league, and it's a knock them out, drag them out fight, especially some of these other clubs you'll be facing outside of Western New York. What El Farolito did, of course, it's been amazing in the Open Cup. And is that what you're hoping for if you do make the playoffs this year, to try and get to that Open Cup spot?
Absolutely. That's everybody's hope and dream. That's what everybody has as a long-term goal. Again, I forgot to mention UPSL. We have a local UPSL team that made it to the last round of the cut to make it into the, actual US Open Cup. So again, there's just another level of soccer here in Western New York that we support those teams because it brings attention and growth to the sport. But absolutely, everybody dreams of being in their position. That's what we all work for. And congratulations, awesome for them to do it, to bring not only attention to their club, but our league that we're all working in right now. And hopefully somebody else can duplicate that.
Mm. Who should we be looking out for on the Stallions? Who have you seen that will be considered your top player or top players? Doesn't matter which position it is. Who should we be looking out for this year?
Honestly, we had over 100 players come to 3 tryouts. The majority of the players in the pool are from Buffalo. The majority of the players at some point or another played in our club as a youth. So we're providing an endpoint for all of our players to strive for within our club, and these guys are all the role models. For me to say, who's a standout or who to look for, I can't really say that, because these guys, honestly, they're local, they're from here. They take a lot of pride in wearing our crest on their jersey, and they all want to represent this club in this city in such a positive way that they're a unified team just looking to work together and fight together. So whoever rises to the top, whoever scores, whoever blocks goals, whoever makes saves, it's all with the same intent that we're one team representing our city, and we're going to fight and do as best as we can.
No, absolutely. And it's going to be exciting to see what they're going to do out there during the season. I have to ask you this here, Mark, is that, when you talk to these parents of these players of yours, or if you do talk to, anyone related or friends or whatever, what they say to you when they say to you, "Oh my God, thank you for bringing this team to Buffalo. Thank you for giving us another entryway for our son to play on this club, that he'll get this opportunity." What do you say? What do you say to them?
Well, it's really, it gets kind of emotional, actually, because the Buffalo Stallions is an old franchise here in the city. It started out as an indoor franchise with the MISL back in the late 70s and early 80s. So whenever anybody sees the Buffalo Stallion logo, it's always, "Hey, I remember when they played at the Odd. I remember going to games when I was a kid. You guys are back. Great. That's awesome. Can't wait to come out and watch a game." So it's been nothing but positive. People reminisce about when they were kids going to watch the Buffalo Stallions play. And we're just looking to pick up from where that tradition left off. This time it's in the outdoor realm, and just get people as excited as they were back then today.
Absolutely fantastic. I'm very happy to hear that. And hopefully I'll get up there and catch a Stallions game if I can. Like I said, look, I'm from the Bronx. I went to Buffalo a long time ago, was helping a production company filming a Canisius football game against Marist. So, yep, that's probably a big local college football rivalry. So, downtown Buffalo is awesome. It's not just the Bills. It's not just the Sabres. It's everything else that's a part of it. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And if it was Canisius football, that was a long time ago as well. And our city in the last 10, 15 years has gone through a resurgence that hasn't happened for 100 years. So when you come back, you're going to see if you liked it then, you're going to love it even now. So look forward to having you.
Alf, great to be back. I can't wait to get back up there when I get the chance. But listen, Mark, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Good luck this year in the NPSL, and hopefully it'll be a good season. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you having me on.
And thank you. Once again, it's Mark Spacone. He's the head coach of the Buffalo Stallions. And it's not just one club that will be starting their inaugural season in the NPSL in that conference, but it will be another club from the state of Ohio. The Ambassadors of Ohio will be represented tonight by the director of the men's football operations, and this is Mr. Bob Dean joining me tonight. Bob, thank you for your time. Welcome to the show, and good evening, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. It's great to be here.
No, it's great to have you on here. Ambassadors of Ohio. Why the name Ambassadors?
So, Dan, Ambassadors Football is a worldwide Christian football mission. Ambassadors mission has been around since 1990. We're in 35 countries around the world. We're headquartered here in Northeastern Ohio. We have 35 mission plants around the world. So there's a history here in Northeastern Ohio with men's pre-professional soccer associated with Ambassadors. Back in 2008, 2009, 2010, Ambassadors ran a program called the Cleveland City Stars. They were a USL 2 and a USL1 member. Yep. And
Yep,
so
absolutely.
the long and short of the story is that they had great success on the field, but terrible success financially. So
Yeah.
after the third year, and a lot of money being invested in taking away from the mission, our global board decided that professional soccer was not something that we wanted to be a part of within our mission. So the NPSL and on our women's side, the WPSL, those are the two leagues that really have helped us to reach our ceiling. So the men's program started in 2021. We played in two regional leagues here in Northeastern Ohio and in the Ohio Valley region. And this is the first year that we've been blessed to be able to have a membership in the NPSL. So it's a great opportunity for us and a great platform for our mission.
I remember that first year in the Open Cup, they had a hell of a run until unfortunately they fell flat. I think after the second or third round
Yep.
Of where they participated. But still, though, I'll never forget that crest. I'll never forget it. It was really cool, green, black, and white. I think
Yep.
it was a city landscape at the top with the
Yes.
soccer ball in the middle.
Yes.
Wow, Cleveland! They ran Cleveland City Stars. I mean, look, it's understandable. Still sad because I felt it had potential, but obviously the professional levels are a lot more steep than you would say, I guess, in a short season league like NPSL is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So different focus that we have and that we've had since 2021 in our program here.
No, absolutely. And once again, it's just very glad to have the ambassadors here, part of the NPSL. So let me just get this up and ready to go. As you can see, you're located in Canton, Ohio. What does that mean, to be, I mean, everyone knows what Canton's all about. If you're a professional NFL player, you know where that one destination is. It's the Hall of Fame. That's where great NFL players go and have their names enshrined in that building. What does it mean to be in that town and to share that with the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it's actually really a privilege for us and a blessing. 5 years ago, I worked at Malone University, which is literally right across the street from the Hall of Fame and the Hall of Fame Village. I was a fundraiser for the athletic department, development person, and so I had a great blessing of being able to fundraise for and help develop the stadium that we actually play in, King Field at Malone University. So that's a big part of it. But with Malone University and Canton being our home, it's a perfect setting for a Christian mission club in that we're planted right in the middle of this small city that is very, very tight, that takes care of their own, that has great tradition. And we're filling a void because in the summer, there used to be the Canton Indians were the AA affiliate of the old Cleveland Indians, now Cleveland Guardians. They're no longer here. So we're filling a void in terms of pre-professional sports and the opportunity for us to build community around that. There are great ethnic populations, a tremendous Latin population here in the city of Canton that are immigrants and migrants, as well as refugees that we're looking to serve. And part of what we've done this year with this platform being in the NPSL is we've partnered directly with the Akron Canton Regional Food Bank. So there are two warehouses for the food bank. One is in the city of Akron and one is literally right down the road from us here at Malone University. And we're giving $1 for every ticket that we sell and $5 for every ticket every ticket package that we sell directly to the Akron Canton Regional Food Bank, because our Canton warehouse literally sits in a food desert. It's on the site of an old grocery store. It's a beautiful facility, but we want to use the platform that we have through the ministry here and through football to serve this community directly. So it means a lot to be a part of this community. And in the 7 years that I worked at Malone, I only left Malone in September to work full time now for ambassadors. And it means so much because of the relationships that Ambassadors has been able to build in a very, very short time, not only with Malone University, but with different people and different partners in and around the Canton area. So it's a great privilege for us to be here.
No, it really is, and I'm very glad to see that the missionaries allowing the club to be a part of the NPSL, and that's a great thing to do, to donate a certain amount to that charity. I just think that's wonderful. I think more clubs should do that, not just a missionary, but more clubs should do that if they're able to do so. Your opponents will be, like we've had the Buffalo Stallions representative here, Cleveland SC, Erie Commodores, FC Flower City Union over in Rochester, Niagara, 1812, Rochester, New York FC Academy, and Syracuse FC. First things first, Cleveland SC is one of those elder statesman clubs that's been in this league for a good long time. Just talk about, the excitement for an in-state rivalry with Cleveland SC.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So even more specific tradition for us is that literally the first men's soccer match that was ever played by Ambassadors FC Ohio was played in a friendly against Cleveland SC in the spring of 2021. So we played every year except last year in a friendly match. So we have a great relationship with the organization. The coaching staff are very close to us. One of them was one of my club teammates as a young man growing up. So we have a tremendous relationship with the organization, great respect, and it's a great drive back and forth down Route 77. So we're hoping for it to be a great rivalry. And then for me, membership in this conference is very, very personal because I grew up in Western New York. I'm a Buffalo native, and I heard Mark talking about Tonawanda. I grew up in Tonawanda, so that's my hometown. I have many relatives still in the area. I'm a cursed Buffalo Bills Sabres fan as well, so remember so much of that. And played in State Cup for a club there with some great families. So it means something very, very special to me and to my family. But yeah, and there's such a rich tradition aside from Cleveland SC, but Erie Commodores. We've been playing Erie Commodores for all of our existence since 2021 in friendly matches, in the OVPL as well. So we have a great relationship with them. I'm super excited about the Buffalo Stallions and their rebirth, and certainly Flower City Union and what they mean to Rochester now, and Rochester FCNY. There's just so much in there. And then we take our first trip to Syracuse on the 17th of May for our first match, our inaugural match, and it's a great travel opportunity. So we're really, really stoked and feel very, very privileged to be in this conference and looking forward to it.
What does it mean for you? Like you said, you're a Western New York native, a Buffalo native. So, the distance from where Canton is, and I mean, Cleveland's not far at all. I would like to think.
No.
I mean, you're just a little bit south from it, aren't you?
Yep. Yeah, we're the furthest west and the furthest south member of this conference. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. And then of course Erie's not far in Western Pennsylvania,
No.
and it's just like a hop, skip, and a jump from Western New York, I believe. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. It's literally 3 hours and 20 minutes. So we're in great shape. Yeah. Yep.
No, absolutely. Yeah. And this is why, the mileage matters. The mileage really, really matters. So,
very
that's
much
fantastic. So. Yep, absolutely. Now, who will be your head coach for the Ambassadors, and what has he done? Is he just recently a head coach, or has he been around the club for a while?
He's actually been around the club for quite some time, and he's been around my life since the day he was born. He actually happens to be my son. So his name is Ryan Dean.
Oh my goodness!
He's the assistant men's coach at Lake Erie College in Painesville, Ohio. But Ryan actually has been playing in the club for well over 10 years, or played in the club for well over 10 years, but played here at Malone University as well. And in his senior year, suffered a second ACL and didn't have the opportunity to play. So went full-time into coaching at that point. So served his last year as an assistant coach at Malone. Started coaching in our club with our oldest age group boys as an assistant coach his freshman year in college. And then our first iteration in 2021. As a program, he played with us, captained our team to the Northern Ohio Soccer League Championship, and then he took over as head coach the following year in 2022. So he's been the head coach since 2022. I know I'm his father, but as an analyst and somebody who, this is my 44th year of coaching in the game, he's very, very good at what he does. And the most precious thing that I think he does is emphasize the relational part of being a head coach and directing a program. He has great vision for it. And the guys are very, very fortunate to have him, but we're very, very fortunate to have the crew that we have.
Now, I'm not trying to get you in trouble or anything, but do you sneak into the coaching meetings, find out what your son tries to do with the tactics?
No, I'm technically an assistant coach, so I'm still involved with it. Not so much on the details matter, but I'm there to really support him and to support the rest of our staff as well, and more for the players. But I've enjoyed the opportunity to be involved on the operations standpoint. The general manager's role has been really, really important. And my full-time profession with the mission is that I'm the global director of development. So I'm responsible for all of the fundraising that takes place here domestically in the United States. And then I help to service the rest of the mission. So I serve that same role with our program here.
No, that's absolutely fantastic. And if I can ask you this, if the club does get to the playoffs, how important is that Open Cup spot that maybe this year or somewhere down the road that the club can make that Open Cup trip, hopefully for next season, if not the season after?
Yeah, of course, it's everyone's dream to be a part of the U.S. Open Cup. We're really realistic with what we try to do. Our first goal is always to serve. We have to be really, really loyal to and focused on the mission and what it means to serve God, what it means to serve a community. And so that's always going to be the first thing that we're going to lead with. I think for us, the most important thing that we can do outside of the winning and losing, of course, our guys want to win. They're very, very competitive. Our team is not comprised of all believers. We have kids and young men from all over the United States, different parts of the world. We have a number of international players that have come through mission connections that we have as well. So we're not lacking for the competitive player and the experienced player. The primary purpose for us is to get them together and put them in an environment that they haven't been in before, an environment in which the first thing that they're thinking of are things that are outside of themselves. I think it's pretty normal for a young man to come into a short season summer program and think, this is what I got to do. I'm getting better. I'm going by the plan that my head coach, our trainers have given us, our strength and conditioning coaches have given us. And we don't get in the way of any of that. We're offering them something more, a little deeper vision into themselves, and then into hopefully a relationship that they can develop with God, and then a relationship that they can have within their community as well. So yeah, it's a very, very special thing. It's just a slightly different focus, but there's no denying, of course, we want to play in the U.S. Open Cup. That would be a great privilege, and it would be a great platform for the ministry across the world as well.
Absolutely, and hopefully that will happen for the club and for the ministry as well. Bob, thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. Good luck this year in the NPSL, and hopefully it will be a successful one in your inaugural year. Have a good night, and good luck to you and your son.
Appreciate it, Dan. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And once again, that's Bob Dean from Ambassadors of Ohio, as he is not only the assistant coach to his son, the head coach, but of course he is also director of men's football operations over at Ambassadors of Ohio. As we continue on here with the Feuerstein's Fire American Soccer Show, and all I can say is that we've had ourselves a good show so far, and as we continue on here, once again, the NPSL has been tremendous with me. I'm very glad to be back partnering with them for the show, and have more guests on coming on for not just this show. And everything is good. And all I can say is, folks, is that I'm just happy to have this partnership. Now, just to let everyone know, tomorrow night's show we'll have part 2 of the NPSL Soccer Show. Will be the other half of the teams. who have 14 teams. So here is that list so far. We're going to have District Elite FC from Washington, D.C. From Baltimore, we're going to have Ristosi FC. From Hempstead, New York, we're going to have the American Soccer Club of New York. From Connecticut, we'll have New Haven United FC. From Queens, New York, Osners FC. From North Carolina, Burlington United FC. And finally, Oklahoma United. So that'll be going to be very interesting and a lot of fun. Cannot wait. So we will definitely have a lot of fun here at the NPSL Soccer Show. And of course, new clubs coming in. Just excited to talk about them with what's going on in the future. And all I can say is that it is just wonderful to have these conversations with these people from FC Pride Elite, from Buffalo Stallions, and of course, Ambassadors of Ohio. And so as we continue on here on the Four Seasons Fire American Soccer Show, we got more clubs coming in tonight. And I'll give you the rest of the list. We're going to have Rochester, New York FC. We will have FC Florida and PDA in New Jersey, known as Player Development Academy. And of course, we also have Club de Leon in Florida, in Club de Leon FC in Florida. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun, and cannot wait. And so as we move on here for your Scenes Fire American Soccer Show, we can go ahead and give you all the different conferences in the NPSL as we have them coming up right here. And as we go ahead, and this show is fast and furious. Very, very fast and furious, folks. So everything comes really, really quick. And once again, let's go ahead and talk about the brand new conferences here. Some of these are the old conferences. We have some new conferences, but here we go. And let's go ahead and talk about them right now. As we have the Central States Conference once again, FC Milwaukee Torrent, FC Pride, Geos Lions, SC Chicago, Michigan Rangers FC, Southern Indiana Guardians FC, Wisconsin Conquerors, we already talked about them. Golden Gate Conference, California Odyssey still there, Cruisers FC, El Farolito, Oakland Stompers, Real San Jose is back with the NPSL, Sacramento Gold, and if I can pronounce this correctly, Leonardo United FC. And of course, we have the Keystone East Conference. We have FC Motown. We got Jackson Lions, New Jersey United, the PDA, Philadelphia Union's developmental squad, and Westchester Predators. Keystone West Conference, well, you have Electric City Shock SC, Hershey FC, Pennsylvania Classics, the Philadelphia Ukrainian Nationals, Westchester United SC. And Lone Star Conference, we got the Arkansas Wolves, CF10 Houston FC, FC Brownsville, Fort Worth Vaqueros FC, Lubbock Matadors, Oklahoma United FC, and West Texas FC. FC. Mid-Atlantic Conference, we got Alexandria Reds, the other Alexandria team, the Rough Diamonds, District Elite FC, DMV Elite FC, FC Frederick, Grove United, Ristosi FC, Virginia Beach City FC, and Virginia Dream FC. In the North Conference, Duluth FC, Iowa Demon Hawks, Joy Athletic Club, Minnesota Blizzard FC, Sioux Falls Thunder FC, and Siouxland United FC. And then, of course, Southeast Conference, 865 Alliance, Appalachian FC, Bristol Rhythm AFC, the Burlington United FC, Charlottetown Hops FC, Greenville United FC, Hickory FC, Port City FC. And then, of course, we'll have next week, North Atlantic Conference, or should I say not next week, but tomorrow, the American Soccer Club in New York, Hartford City FC, New Haven United FC, the New York Shockers, Osners FC, and so many other clubs going on here, folks. You just, a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, and, just cannot wait to have these clubs on talking about being involved in the National Premier Soccer League. It is exciting. It is a lot of fun. And I am excited for it. I know you're excited for it. And it's just a fun time to be around talking about American soccer here. And let's not forget, of course, we know the World Cup is coming. The World Cup is going to be here next summer. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here's what's going to happen now. This upcoming week, let's give you some American soccer calendar events coming towards us. We're going to have on, of course, this Wednesday night, the Vancouver Whitecaps traveling to South Florida, take on Inter Miami over at Chase Stadium. That'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. That'll be on Fox Sports 1. And Lionel Messi down 2-0. So right now they're going to need 3 to advance into the final. And also, we'll see if Vancouver can get an away goal and probably make it 4. It should be exciting and fun. And, of course, Thursday night, the other second leg semifinal between Cruz Azul hosting Tigres. And that should be exciting. And that'll be on Thursday, May 1st. U.S. Open Cup 4th round matches will be on Tuesday, May the 6th and Wednesday, May the 7th. And so don't forget to join me here at the 40 Scenes Fire American Soccer Show, as I'll have the 4th round review, as we're going to see those clubs taking on from MLS, the 16 clubs designated from MLS. I hate saying designated because that's just, I'll say it, it's crappy. It's terrible. We really shouldn't be saying designated by MLS. It should be all 27 American soccer clubs who are, and quite frankly, should be in the Open Cup. It's not just the 16 that MLS designates or who does not qualify for the Champions Cup. And once again, we all know about how I feel about Leagues Cup, so I'm not going to bring that back up. But, it's just one of those things where you're going to have to deal with it for now. And hopefully, these things can get fixed after the World Cup comes. And who knows, maybe we will have a brand new situation. Maybe we will have a changing of the calendar for when these regular seasons get underway. And we'll be very happy for that. Cannot wait for that to happen. And it should be exciting, and it should be a lot of fun. if it does ever happen, and then we'll see what NPSL does, and we'll see what these other leagues do, the short season leagues do, when the NPSL, or if there is a changing in the competition calendar when the season starts and ends. My next guest, ladies and gentlemen, he is the head coach of Rochester, New York FC's academy. This is Mr. Rory, and I hope I pronounced his last name correctly, Rory Charcola, or Rory, welcome to the show. Did I pronounce your last name correctly? And if I didn't, I'll put $20 in the mistake jar.
No, you got it. A lot of people say Charcola, but Charcola is correct.
Ah, thank goodness. I worry sometimes. I don't want to put my name gets butchered a lot. I bet your name gets butchered a lot too. So I try to do my best to pronounce it as perfectly as possible. First things first, Rory. I don't have to tell you the predecessor name before it became Rochester, New York FC. You know the history of this club, an Open Cup champion in 1999. What does it mean for you to be a part of this academy with such a historical name?
No, I think it's really unique and cool. Obviously, you know, it was the Rhinos and then RNYFC in the previous ownership that is now taking another pause, and we're kind of, you know, our academy rebranded from what was Empire United to Align to be a Next Pro, and you know, there's now a void in the market, and we're hopeful we can fill that void to some degree, as well as keep giving our youth players something to push towards in addition to playing college soccer.
Mm-hmm. And just to talk about the Rochester area, you know, first things first, that club has meant a lot to that community, a lot through the years, the old A-League, USL First Division, USL Championship at the time. I mean, what does that mean to you when you talk to people who are happy that the club in some form is still around?
I think we're just scratching the surface, to be honest, with our presence in general. You know, my brothers played junior rhinos. It was junior rhinos after my youth playing days. My parents were season ticket holders as a family, you know, and then, you know, the club rebranded what was junior rhinos to Empire in 2007 to join the development academy. And we're now in year 18. You know, we started a men's team in conjunction with the pro team RNY. You know, it was as they were going out, our men's team was starting. So now, you know, we're starting to build this men's program out of our academy. These are all players that played here in Rochester in their youth. So we're now starting to just scratch that surface. You know, there's that void I mentioned in these next couple of years with the NPSL of trying to bring back some of these fans that are fans of other teams locally because they haven't had the Rhinos or RNY around in the last 2 years. Bring them back to watch us play at John Street or wherever we might move after that, and see players that grew up playing, you know, under that banner, but here in Rochester. You know, we're not going after the best players and the D1 teams that move here locally. These are players that grew up playing, training in Rochester 4, 5, 6 times a week from U13, U12 on to try and go play in this Great Lakes market and, you know, hopefully win soccer games and play in an exciting brand of football.
Absolutely. And let's go ahead and take a look here. You know, I don't have to really tell you much. I mean, you're going to have yourself a rivalry with Flower City Union. They've taken over the stadium where the Rhinos were at that time. And what's it going to be like for this academy to have a Rochester derby now with Flower City Union?
I think it's going to be fun. I mean, the idea of going to NPSL from where we were previous was to play better games, more meaningful games for the guys. You know, obviously the stadium's cool. Our academy trains there once or twice a week. We know Casey and Jordan really well and have a great working relationship, and they do a great job. I think that's why the competition's better. You've got people who do a good job. You know, and when you've got people like that, then they put out a good product, and then, you know, 2 teams. So I think it's going to be great. You know, we want our players to develop. We're a youth club, Dan, so we're a developmental club. Yes, we want to win championships, but you don't develop by playing matches where you win 6, 7, 8-0. You know, so by being challenged every match, it's fun, and that's more fun for the fans too.
No, absolutely. And talk about the region. I'm originally from New York City. I'm from the Bronx. I have been to Western New York a couple of times myself, but you're from there. You're in that region. What is it about Buffalo, Niagara Falls, Rochester, Syracuse? Is there talk? Is there smack? I mean, has there ever been any form of a budding rivalry with the region over there in Western New York?
I think every region has its complexities. I don't, maybe to a fault, I try and keep myself away from those things. You hear things, social media obviously has helped that in the past. It doesn't matter where you go. There's going to be rivalries. There's going to be people who talk poorly or not so poorly about you. But I think it's nice and unique that NPSL, the way they've set up this division now, is it does limit the travel. You've got quality organizations trying to do a really good job that eliminates a lot of the travel. The furthest we're going is kind of the Cleveland region. I guess the biggest trip would be that Cleveland market to Syracuse, and you're talking about 5 hours and change, which I think makes everything more beneficial. You can take the cost that you would put into travel and put it into developing your program, your players, your match day environment. So I think that's what's exciting. And then, like you mentioned, you're playing neighbors. There's bound to be some rivalries that spark off because of that.
No, absolutely. And this should be exciting, a lot of fun. When you talk to your players who are going to be a part representing the academy as a whole, do they talk to you about, we're so excited, we've never been outside of the city limits, or they haven't been outside of Western New York? You're going to Erie, Pennsylvania, you're going to Ohio. I don't know if they've gone as far as Niagara Falls, but is it exciting for them to find out where they're going to be traveling for these road games?
Yeah, I mean, they know almost all of our guys play college soccer, so they're used to traveling with college. But they played in our academy, in MLS Next, or formerly the Development Academy run by U.S. Soccer. So, in the academy, when they're playing for us growing up, our nearest opponent was in New York City, probably FC Westchester, other than playing Toronto FC, who's an MLS Academy. So they're used to traveling with us, buses and vans. They're used to the travel, how we prepare, how we want to play. It'll be great to get them back together after, May 1, the NCAA date, so the D1 guys can get back together. But I think they're excited by the level of the competition. They want to play challenging games. They want to get better. It is more fun. It's fun when you come out on top. It's even more fun when it's a challenging match. So, talking to the guys, the pool of guys, they're excited to get going and get playing.
Mm-hmm. What does it mean for you? I mean, unless you have another facility, but you have your own athletic complex. What does that mean for the club to basically run it, own it, and just show everyone this is ours, nobody else's? It's our training facility.
Yeah, I think it's unique what we have. Having our own facility, it's a work in progress. We want to build a second field, and we own the land to do it around where the field and the indoor complex is. We want to build up a stadium at the main fields to be in things like the NPSL. We're a non-for-profit 501c3 non-for-profit. All the money generated through a program like this, through gates, through merchandise, through having a game day experience across time, will go back towards the club. These are players that grow up and play here, so it's a community club. I think it's unique. We're a non-for-profit. There's no ownership entity that's going to make a profit off of this NPSL men's league endeavor. It's all going to go back into developing the next generation of players so that they can experience this, hopefully play and have meaningful college, university experiences, and hopefully beyond. We've got 3-4 guys that are playing in MLS clubs right now. So that, the goal is to continue to push players, to the highest levels.
Absolutely, and that's the great thing about this, having an academy, getting ready to go, and hopefully some of your players, you can hang your hat saying you did good. They're playing for an MLS club, or they're playing in some of the top USL leagues. Not to ask you for the game plan, but what type of style do you like to play? You like to defend? You like to counter, press? Bunker? I mean, what fits for Rochester, New York FC Academy's style?
We want to win games. Sounds cliche, but we also want to be the protagonist. We want to try and dictate that. Obviously there's metrics that all programs use, but we use, we want to be on the forefront. We are going to look to high press. We're going to look to put numbers around the ball, win the ball back. And then we're going to look to use the ball to create chances. We will build from the back. I think that's a in vogue thing. Maybe it's trending in a different way. I think in the immediate future, we're going to see a little bit more vertical play. But we want to use the ball to create chances. We don't want to build from the back because we think it's pretty. It does have an aesthetic to it, but we want to do it to create advantages, numerical superiority, to create lots of goal-scoring chances, to hopefully score goals, which we believe is fun. And if we score more goals than they do, then the end of the night's fun as well.
Absolutely. Who should we be looking out for on our NYFC's academy team? Anyone in particular that has stood out for you while training or during training camps, tryout camps? Who have you seen that has caught your eye that we should be looking out for?
This is always a tricky one. I'm a big believer of the team's the star. We haven't trained yet at all. We won't train until after May 1st. Part of the beauty of having the academy is these guys, they've played in this 5-6 plus years growing up. So being away at school for the last 7-8 months, yes, there's going to be a bedding in process, but it shouldn't take too long. But, I'll highlight some of our older guys maybe. A guy, Eli Sidibe, just graduated from Canisius. He's going to be doing some USL trials, just coming back from an injury, but will probably play a little bit with us. He's a forward. Jamison Rayleigh, he played in our academy before going to Bucknell and doing a grad year at Stevens Institute of Technology. He coaches with our academy 2-3 nights a week. Another guy, Zach Dreyer, same thing. Coaches with our academy 2-3 nights a week, was a 3-time captain at URI. These guys, they're coaching with us right now. They know the way we want to play. They grew up playing here. We've got another guy, Cody Sarkody, graduating from Canisius, will join our staff full-time. Parker Kump will join our staff. Some of these older guys who've been around it, but now are giving back to the youth, and then they're going to play for the men's team. So I think these are some of the guys that we will lean on. And then there's, we're going to have players that are born from 1998 to 2008 playing matches. We're going to have over a decade of guys, and all these guys have worn the badge prior to playing in the NPSL this year, which I think is unique.
It really, really is. And if I can ask you, as I mentioned about the Open Cup Championship back in 1999, how important is it to try to qualify for that Open Cup spot if you do qualify for the playoffs or not?
I think that's a tricky one for us. I mean, this program for us, should we get, an automatic qualification, most of this player pool is college guys. So they're not eligible in those months. Even if you get the automatic to March with NCAA rules and regulations, you can't have access to those guys. That said, a lot of the guys I just mentioned are guys that are beyond college. So we'll deal with that. Good problem should we get there.
No, absolutely. And hopefully when that problem does arrive, you'll get to it, and you'll probably get to a solution as quickly as possible. Yeah. But anyway, listen, Rory, thank you for your time. I really do appreciate you coming on tonight. Good luck this year with the Academy Club, with our NYFC. I just hope you have a good year, and hopefully you'll turn out another several good players to be able to go and play for some of these bigger clubs in the United States.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. And have a good night.
You too.
All right. Rory Charcola. He is the head coach of the Rochester, New York FC Academy Club, as they will be ready to go in the NPSL for the 2025 season. It's exciting. It's fun, as I've said many, many times. But once again, this, my friends, is what it's all about. To see these players, depending on what the setup is, these players do want to be a part of the Open Cup. They do want to be a part of the NPSL, and they're going to use the platform that they have available to them to try and show what they can do. And who knows, maybe there will be a championship coming up for them, and other things as well. As we move on to the next club. Now, unfortunately, we do not have anyone from Club De Leon in Florida, so we'll just go ahead and just post that. And there it is. And they are going to be located in Daytona, Florida, which is very northeast of the state. They'll be playing at Daytona Stadium, which is also a minor league baseball stadium for the Daytona Tortugas of the Florida State League, which is now considered low A ball, low A class low A ball. And they will be in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference. Of course, the Gulf Coast Conference and the Sunshine Conference was merged into one. So now they'll be all in one and together. They will be taking on clubs like FC Florida, Global Soccer Pathways, Miami Dutch Lions. Yes, that Dayton Dutch Lion connection. They're expanding outside of the state of Ohio. Jacksonville Armada's under 23 Academy, Naples United FC, who was just in this past U.S. Open Cup tournament, as they were, I believe, they were in the opening round. I think they got eliminated in the opening round. I have to double check my notes on that one. Also, the New Orleans Jesters and PSC FC Florida. I'm going to have to find out one day what the PSC stands for, but we'll find out. Now, for those of you that are saying to me, well, that name sounds familiar, and yes, it is. If you remember on my show back on Blog Talk Radio, there has been issues with Club de Leon when they were on the National Independent Soccer Association League, which was, it's a Division III league. And they were having some troubles with the finances, troubles with paying referees, just having issues giving out certain things that, if you want to, unfortunately, you can't re-listen to that episode, but once I reinvigorate the older episodes, you will listen to that episode with, of course, my colleagues at Beyond the 90, Kartik Krishnaiyer and Jonathan Starling, talking about the situation with Club de Leon. And it's such a shame that they had to go through all that negative, but thankfully they reclassified themselves, left the Division III sanctioning, and joined the short season league in here at the NPSL. So very happy for them to see them surviving and back in it. Look, it's very important to know that myself and the many others who cover the sport, defend the sport, and want the sport to survive and thrive in our country, not just in Major League Soccer, not just the USL leagues that are in the professional rankings like USL League One and the Championship League, but we want these clubs in USL League Two, in the NPSL, and yes, now the League for Clubs, even the amateur clubs. We want them to survive and thrive. We want the sport to be strong here in this country. I don't worry too much about, what is going to be the national sport of this country. The point is this, is that I want the sport to be recognized by everybody. Whether you are a supporter of the game, if you are a non-supporter of the game, if you are a member of the sports mainstream media, to just give a darn about the game in this country. Look, we all know where the NFL is. We all know where the Major League Baseball is, the NHL and the NBA. We all know this. But now you're seeing the fruits of the labor that finally is coming to fruition, that there is respect for this sport. Does more need to happen? Absolutely. I don't think we're completely there yet, but I like to think we're 75 to 80% there. And we just got to grab that extra 20 to 25% to get it to 100. And if this show can not only help this sport, and of course this league as well, I'm happy to do so. I'm happy to carry a flag. I've carried many flags. I'm carrying many, many flags, regardless of where the leagues are. I am carrying the flag for, as always, MLS. I'm carrying the flag for the United Soccer Leagues. I'm carrying the flag for the NPSL and all the other leagues that are affiliated with U.S. Soccer and our national teams, both the men and the women. And of course, my hope is to see our national team, the men's national team, win a World Cup. Our women have done it. Congratulations to them. I'm hoping the men do. But outside of that, I need to make sure that everything gets talked about on this show involving American soccer. And once again, the National Premier Soccer League is one of those leagues that I want to see be successful and to continue to thrive. We got to make sure that it's not on survival mode, that it's on thriving mode. And so far, it looks like it's on its way to being that it's thriving, still thriving. More needs to be done for the sport in its entirety. That's without a doubt. But the truth is that we are almost at 100%, and we got to get there. 75 to 80% is great. We want to get to fantastic, 100%. Nothing more, nothing less. 100%. And the hope is that more clubs will come in, make this league grow and grow and grow some more. Mix in with the old and bring in the new, and have this National Premier Soccer League doing well for all of us all together. That's what we have to hope for, folks. That's what we need to see. That's what we got to make sure about. And that is why we need to keep on going with this. No division. Look, healthy rivalry, healthy derbies, that's one thing. Health and growth of the sport in this country, that's the most important thing. From our leagues to the Open Cup, structure, players, stadiums, press, everything all together. We have to be one. We have to be one with all of us. If that happens, we're in. But once again, I can only do so much. This is where all of you got to come in. And you got to do it the right way. Grassroots is always big. Grassroots is always the first things first, the positive first. And the more that we celebrate this game, the better we will all be. It's not just what goes on in one league. It is every single league that we have available in front of us. So hopefully, we will have ourselves more clubs coming in, bring in more, add more, and we are going to have some fun. I cannot wait. I know you cannot wait. This will be exciting. This will be a lot of fun. And you know what, folks? More to come. More to come on this show. We got 2 more clubs ready to talk to. 2 more clubs ready to come in. I cannot wait. It's exciting. It's very exciting. And this is where I have fun. Because why? Because I'm happy to talk to people. You know, when you talk to some of these owners in this league, and you hear about their passion for the sport, and you hear about what they want to do in this sport, and why they want to be a part of the National Premier Soccer League, that's just fantastic. You're helping the game grow. And granted, it may be one level of the game, but that one level to be stronger and equal to the other leagues, whether it be in the professional ranks or in the amateur ranks or the semi-professional ranks, that is what we need to see come together. Everybody come together and make all of our leagues stronger and better. You know, I remember, and if Gary's getting too tired of me praising him, look, I can't help it, because it was really great. You know, when you get to the Open Cup, you know, that's where I really get excited for and happy for. I want to get involved with the Open Cup. And so with having to contact two clubs at the time from the National Premier Soccer League to preview their runs in the Open Cup, and unfortunately it was the COVID year, so they couldn't get that opportunity to play, which was a shame. But when I was contacted by Gary Moody saying, you know, thank you for interviewing two of our clubs about the Open Cup, and just saying to me, would you like to become a media partner with the league? And I was like, well, I'll think about it. And I did think about it. And I got back to Gary and I said, yep, I'd love to be a part of it. Trust me, I didn't drag it out. I think it was like a day. Maybe not even a day. And I apologize for yawning, folks. I had a long day today. You know, I think it might have taken a day. It might have taken a half a day. You know, I just wanted to, you know, make sure that I do my part, and make sure that, you know, get these clubs on board, and to make sure that they talk about themselves, and they talk about being a part of this league. And from that point on, since 2020, it has been fantastic. This is, I believe, my 6th year now officially covering the National Premier Soccer League as a whole. My 6th year now officially covering this league, and every show has been fun, exciting, and a lot of fun. You know, look, there's been plenty of ups, occasionally a few downs, some of it my fault, of course. You know, when you lose that great connection with Skype, of course, Skype will be dying soon. Unfortunately, but you know, look, the technology has improved, and you know, the Microsoft is basically shelving it. So, you know, it was bound to happen sooner rather than later. There'll be another new online conversation piece, phone piece, where you can connect with others, whether it's domestic or from outside internationally around the world. But still, though, it's exciting to have this show. It's exciting to talk about what's going on here with the NPSL. And I enjoy talking with these wonderful people who are on earlier tonight. It was just great to talk with just recently Rory Charcola, Jamie Gilbert, Keegan Boom, of course, Bob Dean, Mark Spacone, and very soon I'll have my next two guests coming on to discuss what's going on with their club very, very soon. So, you know, it's exciting. It's exciting. It's fun. And then, of course, I'll have my final guest on tonight, and you know, and then we get ready for tomorrow for another show like this. Another show. So once again, it's exciting. It's a lot of fun. And I personally cannot wait to have another show and have another round of NPSL Soccer Talk. Try to make it as lively as I can for all of you. And once again, it is a lot of fun. It is exciting. And I personally am excited to see what's going to happen in this 2025 season. And once again, don't forget, tomorrow night will be the second show to talk about these clubs and these expansion teams coming in. Once again, these clubs are District Elite FC, Riztozi FC, the American Soccer Club of New York, New Haven United, Osners FC, Burlington United FC, and Oklahoma United FC. Just tons of fun, tons of excitement, and just love having these conversations. Love having these conversations. And when you talk to these teams, it is just amazing to see. Unfortunately, we couldn't get anybody at Club De Leon in Daytona, Florida. Sometimes this is what happens. Try to get as many people as you can. Obviously, there's still, I guess, certain things hanging over their head, but, we're not going to get into that. I don't want to get into that because, it's a brand new chapter for them, and hopefully they'll be successful, and hopefully they'll continue on and do well in Northeast Florida over in Daytona Beach. Of course, they were in the Orlando area at the time, and then they moved to Daytona, and now looks like they're going to be there permanently and getting ready for a great 2025 National Premier Soccer League season. So getting ready for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And now, as we get ready for my next guests, and we're waiting from FC Florida Prep, the director of coaching in Mr. Cesar Montes and the academy director, Mr. Cam Omsberg. So we're just waiting for FC Florida Academy to join us here tonight to talk about their club. And so we can go ahead and wait for them, and hopefully they'll see what's going to happen with them. And as we will now move forward and talk about them, as we'll bring them up, and once they are ready to sign in, here they are currently. And they are located in Hobe. I think it's Hobe, maybe Hobie. I'll have to double check with them once they log in. From Hobie Sound, Florida, and they'll be playing at the Pine Schools Stadium. They'll be in the Gulf Coast Sunshine Conference. And once again, they will be playing against these clubs, against Club De Leon, Global Soccer Pathways, Miami Dutch Lions, Jacksonville Armadas Under-23 Academy Club, Naples United FC, New Orleans Jesters, PSC FC Florida. So we'll be very excited. Now, for those of you not familiar with Hobie Sound, I don't know where it is either. I had to look it up myself. They are just north of West Palm Beach. So they are just, I don't know if it is actually in Palm Beach County in the state of Florida, but they are north of West Palm Beach. So that should be a lot of fun. And hopefully we'll get to talk to them once they log in. And we shall see what will happen there. And as I've said, I have never been there, so I don't know where they are, where it is. But like I said before, I looked it up on the map, and they are in just north of West Palm Beach. And, I hope everyone's enjoying the graphics here. I mean, I know you can type things up as much as you want, but, trying to get these little silhouettes of the states. And, if you can see the red dot, trying to find their location, it's pretty tough. You got to make sure you get it correct. You got to make sure you get the locations correct, because if I don't get it correct, if I just put the state up, oh yeah, where's it located? What part of the state? Is it in the Panhandle, the Northeast, most northern? Is it the east side, the west side, southeast, southwest, northwest, northeast? Is it smack in the middle of Central Florida? Where are you, Hobie Sound? So this is the first time I've ever heard of the town. And that doesn't mean that I'm ignorant against them. It just means that I've never heard of the town before. So just want to make sure you knew where it is, where they're located, and just to make sure that they get recognized here on the For Your Scenes Fire American Soccer Show. So that's where we are currently, and hopefully they will be available for us, ready to come on. And so all I can do is just try to wait for them to come on in, and hopefully we'll have them come in, and we will try to get them on. But so far it's been a flawless show. Not going to count the Club de Leon situation. They just didn't want to come on, but that's okay. And so all I can say is that it just needs more time here, hopefully, and they'll be coming on. And they will be ready to go. And we will see what they will do. And we'll see what they will be doing here, hopefully, with us very soon. And as we continue on here, it's going to be exciting, fun season once again. But once again, folks, FC Florida, it's going to be really, really interesting when they take on these clubs here, especially when you're taking on some of these clubs in Florida, as well as up and down the state. When you're going to be playing these clubs, especially Jacksonville Armada, their under 23 side. They've been around in the NPSL for a very, very long time. And of course, let's not forget traveling over to New Orleans, Louisiana, also taking on Miami Dutch Lions, heading down to the southern end. That matchup that's going to be with Miami Dutch Lions, and once again, that South Florida region, up and down, it's going to be very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. As it's not that far away when you take on Miami, but when you go across to Louisiana, take on the Jesters, that's going to be a heck of a trip. That's going to be the biggest trip out of them all. And then, of course, you're going up and down the state. You're going to Western Florida, take on Naples United. You're going to be heading to the northeastern end of the state, taking on Jacksonville Armada under 23. Once again, you're going to stay in South Florida, take on Miami Dutch Lions. I do not know where PSC FC Florida is. So I'm assuming that'll be in their area, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see when we get there. And then, of course, the Global Soccer Pathways. I keep forgetting where they're located, but and don't forget they're going to go to Daytona as well, near Central Florida, over in the Daytona Beach area. So that should be exciting. That should be a lot of fun. But one thing is for sure. One thing is for sure, folks. is that this is going to be fun and exciting and a lot of fun. I've said fun probably too many times already, and I apologize about that, but trying to find the right words here to make sure that, you get ready for this NPSL 2025 season. This is going to be exciting and fun, and just can't wait for the season to get underway. It has probably gotten underway already in some of the western region sides of the country. But once again, we will be waiting for that as we move on here. And of course, as we continue on here, the 4 Scenes Fire American Soccer Show. Once again, these are the clubs that they'll face. And if you want to contact them through social media, there it is right there, at FC Florida Prep. Once again, that's their social media handle at X or Twitter, whatever you still want to call it, the old ways or the new ways. It's FC Florida Prep. That is their Twitter account. I looked it up myself. Trust me, I always make sure that I put out the correct information for all these clubs that are joining me or what's going to happen here on the show. But it's just one of those things, unfortunately. Look, we think that they're going to come on, and unfortunately, they forget, or they have an emergency that they have to run into. Unfortunately, it happens sometimes, but look, this is what it is, and once again, it's just a situation where there's nothing you can do about it. If there's an emergency, there's an emergency. So, and hopefully, we'll have them on at another time if they do want to join in. Hopefully. So we'll wait and see what the situation is, and but once again, this should be exciting. It should be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen for this 2025 season. Let's go ahead to our final guest tonight. He is the midfielder and a striker for the Player Development Academy, also known as PDA. This is Mr. Zach Riviere. Thank you, sir. $20 in the jar, I know. No, I'm kidding. Well, first of all, thank you for joining me tonight. And of course, I lived in New Jersey, so I'm aware of the PDA, and obviously they are, they are known statewide. But for those of us that are not, or for those that are not familiar with the Player Development Academy, just briefly talk about what they are about.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. But PDA, I think the name, speaks for itself, Players Development Academy. I think that's their first goal, is to bring players in, develop, and then hopefully get results, wins, and experiences like that. But it's very player focused, and I think that shows, especially with how practices are, how the coaches really put time into developing young players.
Now, is it just in a certain area of New Jersey, or is it statewide? They go north, south, east, west. Where do they go?
Statewide. There's a couple of branches of PDA. The one I played in was mostly central New Jersey, but there's a very prominent one now, PDA South, that's really catching fire now, and it's a really good program as well.
Mm-hmm. So the program right now, which you'll be representing, this will be in Somerset County, correct?
This will be PDA South, so it'll be we'll be out of Notre Dame High School. Will be our home field, which is Lawrenceville, New Jersey, a little bit more south than Somerset.
Okay. So anyway, don't kill me on the graphics, because I was trying my best to get it correct.
Hmm.
And like I said, another $10 in the mistake jar. That's my fault. But anyway, here we go. And I mean, I know that's one of their offices, but you will be playing, yes, at Notre Dame High School in Lawrenceville, New Jersey. This is going to be a very tough region. Obviously, there's the East and the West regions of the Keystone. You'll be in the East. You'll be taking on FC Motown, Jackson Lions FC, New Jersey United, AC, and the Philadelphia Union's developmental squad, and the Westchester Predators. Talk about that. I mean, I'm assuming Jackson is not that far. You're close to Great Adventure, that I know.
Hmm.
But are you excited for a rivalry, for a derby with Jackson Lions?
Yeah, for sure. I think they're a great club. I remember hearing about them in the NPSL. They always put out really good teams, always have great summers. So, I'm definitely looking forward to playing against them and seeing how we match up against them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Should be exciting, especially a lot of fun. Now, obviously, FC Motown is the elder statesman in this conference. I don't have to tell you anything about them. I'm sure you've followed what they've done these many years, whether it be in Madison, in Montclair, representing the town of Morristown, New Jersey. What's it like going to be facing a club like that?
Yeah, they're a great club, great program. I know their owners well, and they love the club. They put so much into the club, and they always put out an amazing roster. So it's going to be really exciting games, really tough games, but I think that's what I'm looking for and my teammates are looking for. We want to play the hardest teams. We want the competition. And in my opinion, I think Motown is definitely one of the strongest out there.
Mm-hmm. No, it really is. And you're going to have a handful, that's for sure. What does it mean when you're able to take on an MLS club, but they built this developmental squad, means that they're ready to make the next move up, maybe to the MLS Next 2 team, which is Philadelphia Union 2, before they make it to MLS with the senior team. What type of experience do you think that will give you when you do face the Philadelphia Union's developmental squad?
Yeah, I think they're also going to be a really good squad. I think you hit it right on the head there. A development squad looking to see which guys are going to be, pushed forward. And I think a game like that, they're going to showcase which ones are really prepared to take the next step. So that's a game where we definitely have marked on the calendar too, which is another one that's very tough because of the talent. It's an MLS academy, and we know the type of players that train at these clubs and also really want to take the next step at these clubs. So it's going to be a very difficult match, but that's what we want to test ourselves against.
No, absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, there's Westchester Predators. Obviously, that Westchester area in Pennsylvania is also a very difficult area to play in. You're going to face a lot of tough customers over there. I mean, just to travel within the state of New Jersey, northeastern Pennsylvania, I should say. What does that Philadelphia region mean for you when you're going to face some of those players down there?
Yeah, I think I may be biased, but the New Jersey, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, I think it's definitely a hotbed for soccer. Growing up in this area, very frequently we would make trips out there and sometimes dread it just because of the tough games out there. So it's going to definitely bring back memories heading out there for tough games. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Now, a player like yourself, like you've been through the PDA Academy level over there. When you found out that they were creating an NPSL club and competing in this league, what did that mean for you?
It was, definitely like a full circle moment. PDA was a club that I had spent 10 years playing before I went to college to play. And they didn't have a program like this when I was, waiting in the summer to go back to my school. So I definitely jumped on this when I got the invitation, because definitely special to wear the PDA colors again after so many great memories of youth soccer. So now to have an NPSL team to try to really stamp our mark here, I'm super excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Who will be your head coach down in Lawrenceville?
Brian Glazer will take charge, and he's someone that I know for a very long time. He wasn't my coach at PDA, but he was always around, and I knew him, and he's definitely a great leader for this team.
What should we be looking out for with your head coach? Is he fiery? Is he demanding? He gives you great pep talks. I mean, what is about him that makes you feel comfortable being managed by him?
I think it's just his preparedness. Like, we've had a couple sessions so far, and the principles he's trying to implement into our team, I think we're definitely going to be prepared for whatever comes at our way, and really excited to play under him for the first time.
No, absolutely. It's going to be fun and exciting. Can't wait for this. So, do you? I'm not asking you for the game. For the game plan. I'm not asking you to spill secrets, but is his style going to be attacking, bunkering, pressing, countering? What is he looking from you guys?
Yeah, I think it almost, the DNA of PDA shows through all the coaches. We're going to be an attacking team, fast, quick. We want the ball. But at the end of the day, soccer gives you so many different things, so you have to be adaptable. So I think our system will be adaptable to what the other team throws our way as well. But we definitely want the ball, score goals, be exciting. I think that's what our game is about.
No, it's absolutely fantastic. And are you still going to school? Are you still going to college, or you're done with that?
Nope, I'm a couple of years out. But I spent 10 years at PDA, and then I went to Georgetown University to continue playing.
And then you just were able to get picked up by certain clubs in the league, or you were doing something else?
Right now I'm doing something else, but after school I tried to play for a bit, and then went to work away from soccer.
So how exciting is it to be back in it, and now you'll be in one of the lower levels of American soccer?
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's something I've been really looking forward to when I first signed up to be back in the game. It's been a couple of years, so to definitely run around and play for something really meaningful, putting on the PDA colors again. It's definitely better than just to pick up soccer on the weekends. So it's going to be much more intense, but I'm looking forward to it.
So let me ask you this. Obviously, there is an opportunity to make the playoffs. And if you do make the playoffs, and depending on how far you go, that Open Cup spot will be available. And when I say to you the U.S. Open Cup, what does that mean for you?
It's a great opportunity. I remember hearing about the Motown team that had that great long run in the Open Cup, and I think a competition like that is so special to the tradition of U.S. soccer, which is very open and gives opportunities to lower level clubs. So that spot that's open, it's huge for these clubs to gain the exposure, but also for the players to play in these big games in front of big crowds and against really top level players.
It really is. I mean, I know you love it. I love it. We all love it. And the hope is that it'll continue to keep growing and get better and better. And I guess finally, um, where do you fit mostly on the pitch? Are you feeling better up top to score, or do you like to create in the midfield? Because you can play either position. What was your highest goal totals, whether it be college or PDA or anywhere?
Yeah, my highest goals came from the wing. So I would mostly play left, right wing, but I'm very comfortable in the attacking mid as well. I got I think 20 goals my junior year at PDA, which was probably my highest in my youth career, and that came from mostly from the wing. So definitely attacking spots. And yeah, I do love dropping deep, getting on the ball, getting my teammates involved, and really playing attacking, fun soccer.
That's great to hear. Very, very exciting, and just wonderful to hear that. Are your parents watching right now or no?
Nope.
All right, I guess I
That's
can't. No, I'm
it.
just kidding. I'm kidding around. I'm kidding around. No, that's all right. But anyway, Zach, I just want to say thank you very much for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it. Good luck
Thank
this
you
year
for
in the
having me on.
NPSL. I'm glad to have you on, and good luck this year on the pitch, okay?
I appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too as well. Zach Riviere from PDA, Player Development Academy, which will now have an official club in the National Premier Soccer League. Join me tomorrow night, Tuesday night, once again for another round of these amateur expansion teams. I shouldn't say amateur, these expansion teams coming in to the National Premier Soccer League starting in their 2025 season. Let me thank my guests tonight, Jamie Gilbert and Keegan Boom from FC Pride Elite. I also want to thank Mark Spacone, head coach of Buffalo Stallions, Bob Dean, director of men's football operations of Ambassadors FC of Ohio. I also want to thank Ray Charcola, head coach of Rochester, New York FC Academy. And I want to thank Zach Riviere, midfielder forward from the Player Development Academy, the PDA of New Jersey. My name is Daniel Feuerstein. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. See you all tomorrow night as we once again discuss the back end of these expansion teams entering the 2025 season. This has been the National Premier Soccer League show on the Feuerstein's Fire American Soccer Show. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me tonight. And as always, please enjoy your football. Thank you. Take care. So long and bye-bye for now.